Hey everybody, it's Adler and welcome back to Shining Song Starnova. Then last we left off, well, we got some information about a certain mysterious figure within Golden Calf who apparently had some amount of influence over Aki during her formative years. Just gonna leave it at that. In fiction, there were rules you had to obey. Bullshit. Every event had to be caused by a prior event. Happenings which went against the overall theme of the work were omitted. The heroes could not fall for no apparent reason. Sort of, yeah. Wild, improbable coincidences ought not to be the keystones holding together the plot. True. Lest the leader begin to complain the author was stretching the limits of realism and being lazy. I mean, yeah, that's just pulling shit out of your ass. Yeah, it's nah. But real life was beholden to no rules. You could walk out of a building, absolutely winning in life, only to be squished flat by an out-of-control truck the next heartbeat. I received on my desk a reminder that in the real world, practically anything could happen at any moment for any reason whatsoever. Huh. Bombshell exclusive, Quasar number 2, Enokita Haruka exposing sex tape. Upon seeing the front of the daily tablet, I threw away any expectation of accomplishing anything for the day. The scale of this magnitude propagating throughout the industry was obvious that everyone was going to be too distracted to care about us. Sparing not a second, I opened up my web browser. Within seconds, I had already located the sex tape in question. Of course, it wasn't like I had much personal interest in seeing Enokita get screwed or anything like that. Girls like her weren't even my type to begin with. I'm only looking up the sex tape for research purposes. Yeah. This is all business. So was the part where he masturbated vigorously. I had to evaluate just how damning the video was and what consequences this leak would have on Quasar and the entire idol industry. Skimming through the video, I could tell this is a real deal. At least it didn't look like some celebrity lookalike shoot produced by some enterprising porn company for viral distribution. Not to mention, nothing was censored and the footage looked like it was secretly shot on someone's cell phone without Enokita's knowledge. It was only a matter of time until the idol industry had a skin like this. With the widespread adoption of cell phones, some sleazy guy could trick an idol into sleeping with him, secretly record her, and then sell the footage to the paparazzi to make bank. But to think such a scandal would happen to Golden Calf, the seemingly indomitable leader of the idol industry, and to such a high-ranking member of Quasar, too. No doubt a raging inferno was burning from the top floors of Golden Calf's skyscraper as I, and pretty much every man and woman in the country, watched the footage of their second most valuable company asset quite literally getting fucked over. She'll be hanged at dawn. Man, thank goodness this happened to them and not us. That was probably what was in the mind of every idol producer in the nation right now. Seriously, you never knew what was going to happen next in this crazy business. Meanwhile, news of Quasar's great scandal had reached the ears of the girls of Starnova as well. They stood gathered in a circle as Julie scrolled through the online meltdown in her cell. Holy shit, you guys heard about Haruka-sama, right? What the hell? You could see that girl's religion in that vid. You reckon she did it for the attention? Of course not, you bumpkin. She was totally set up. I can't believe that bitch fell so hard for it. Holy fuck, she's gonna be skinned alive on the net. Like to the point of having to get facial reconstruction surgery and assuming a different identity in Hokkaido because her reputation's been so wrecked. You know, I'm not surprised that all this happened to her. I'd say it's just karma. Eh? You have a grudge against her or something? Something like that. Anyways, I think I'll be sleeping extra soundly for tonight, knowing that she's finally gotten what she had coming for a while now. It's really terrible. I can't believe someone would actually trick a girl into doing such things. Says the Lamb Starnova. Okay. All for the purpose of secretly recording her and then to give the video to the media. I expected the Lamb Starnova. There you go, yes. You know, we're idols. It's not a search that this kind of thing could happen to any of us. Pretty much. As long as we call ourselves idols, people are going to want to take advantage of us. In the end, idols exist to move money. And it's not always just the producers who want to make money off us, but also people in the mass media who don't care about the slightest about what happens to us afterwards. Terrible. Being an idol truly is difficult, isn't it? I'm just glad it happened to them and not us. Oi, you guys better not be secretly sleeping around with guys. It'd be a big fucking hassle if someone leaked a sex tape of one of us. Of course we wouldn't be doing something like that. The top bitch saying that. The candle truly doth call the stove black. Oh my god! Alright. Anyways, this is just good news for us. How is this happening good news at all? A girl was secretly recorded and humiliated nationally, you know? Exactly, and that creates an opening. Look, Quasar's dominated the charts for over a decade now. With this scandal, their power has never been weaker. Besides, if you look closely at what people were saying even before this scandal hit the presses, it's obvious that Quasar's time was fading. Akuna was amazing 3-4 years ago, but she's pretty much a granny now. And now with her successor gone, who's Shio-sama gonna pass her crown to? Some kid? A robot? The question we've got to be asking right now is, when all the idol units of the nation compete this summer at the Grand Prix, just who's gonna come out on top? This is our big moment. This scandal is gonna be like an arrow embedded in Quasar's gut. We've got to redouble our efforts and take Quasar's place at the top of the idol world this summer. As expected of the Red Imp, she's truly bloodthirsty. As expected of Aki-chan, she's really cut straight to the point, doesn't she? Pretty much what I said, yes. Oh. Put your tongue back in your mouth. Well, I kind of get what she's saying. Hey, everyone. The shitload's got a point. Maybe something like this happening was inevitable. I know personally what Quasar's like. They're not anything like us, that's for sure. Like I said, this is basically just karma. That bitch was so full of herself when I was a member of Quasar. Girls like her, whenever they get popular, they start thinking they're invincible and do all sorts of things, all sorts of unbelievable things. This is our chance, you know. Maybe it's about time that the bad guys get what they deserve and the good guys win for once. And Sama is exactly right. Listen, everyone. Opportunities like this come only once in a lifetime. This is our big chance to find Jesus Christ. This is our big chance to find a defeat Quasar once and for all. It'll still be a tough battle, won't it? Oh, absolutely! Indeed, it seems natural that every up-and-coming idol group in the nation is having this conversation now. While Starnova's popularity has grown, we've still got countless other competitors, even apart from Quasar. Those Platinum class girls are pretty good too. And they were the runner-ups in last year's Grand Prix too. Well, I didn't say it was going to be easy. We're still going to do it. We've already worked too hard and sacrificed too much to settle for second place, right? In the end, Aki-chan just wants us all to do our best, isn't she? Well, I'm just saying. As your sinner, I've got to keep the tension up, you know? Alright. I think what Aki's saying is true too. This is the best shot we've got to beat Quasar. I said let's do it. The war cry of the Novas. I fucking knew it. Alright. Across from town, the mood was entirely inverse on the top floor of the Golden Calf offices. Within minutes of the sex tape hitting the internet, the company's shareholders had called for a crisis meeting. Kamijo sat facing 20 members of Golden Calf's board of directors. His youth contrasted sharply with the wrinkled old faces of the aged men whose money had funded Golden Calf for so long. This is an outrage! Who's going to take responsibility for this? Can we sue in court to prohibit further dissemination of the video? These idols think they can do whatever they want. Where is their sense of responsibility? Kamijo immediately raised his hand to calm the board members down. We simply offer her as a blood sacrifice to the elder gods. You're going with the bad press is still press route? Yes, plenty of young flesh, just ready for the slaughter. Yeah, that is the way of the media and attention on social media as well. The board members grumbled, but at least stopped shouting. Kamijo seemed to have a point. At least they knew that sex and drama had sold in the past, so they could at least convince themselves this crisis was not as bad as they feared. A second voice echoes in the room. Is this the mysterious? Yep. Okay. The board members turn their attention to the elderly gentleman facing Kamisho at the opposite end of the table. Kinjiro Oda, the oldest serving employee of Golden Calf and a personal friend of Kamisho Sr. Indeed, during Golden Calf's earlier years, Oda had served as Kamisho Sr.'s right-hand man. Had it not been for the ascension of the company's male heir, then no doubt Oda would be the one sitting in Kamisho's chair right now. The young truly had no sense of shame. The other board members grumbled their agreement. How do you have people have personal lives instead of, slaving for the corporation? Oda chuckled to himself and went to Kamisho. He himself was personally driven the knife into several sacrifices' hearts. Yeah, free will is just a bitch, isn't it? Kamisho smiled through clenched teeth as the other board members nod along with Oda. You need to properly discipline them. This is what happens when you spare the rod during childhood. Tighten the chains around their necks. Yeah, okay. Kamisho pounded his desk in fury once the board members adjourned for the day. Just as he swore, the elevator chimed. Ahem. Kamisho-sama? Kamisho wiped the frustration from his face and faced his sin with his usual arrogant smile. What is it? Regarding the board meeting, what is the situation that I should relay to the other members? What do you think? Enokita's out. I always figured she was trash, but not even I could have foreseen her level of stupidity. Already knew, didn't you? And you didn't see fit to inform me? Refusing to snitch on your fellow sister? How uncharacteristic of you. Or is there something else? With all due respect, if we were to eject every girl with a secret liaison or two, I'm afraid there would be very little left of our current membership. Evil laugh. I see. Who are they? Pathetic, isn't it? Losing it all because they couldn't hold it in. Well, at least I don't have to worry about such a thing with you. We're going to clean house. Cut out the liabilities. Build a stronger team. If we're going to march to Odaiba this year, then it'll be with the best faces this nation has to offer. Turning a blind eye to a rule violation or two is a mistake. From now on, not even toe out of line. Every quasar should be the very image of perfection. Do you understand? Hi. Sir? Kaori sighed at the conclusion of the general meeting. She had heard rumors that heads were going to roll. But to think the total of 8 members of the unit would be fired outright with no explanation, and 4 more demoted back to trainee status. Have those girls all secretly been sleeping with men as well? Or are they just non-performers being made examples to motivate their survivors? What's that, the old Roman word for killing every 10th man of a unit? Oh, it actually just decimation. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say that seemed like it was too on the nose for it to actually be the correct assumption, but nope. All right, yeah, decimation. Pretty much the same kind of effect, you know. Those girls, all right, I heard that. This meant that over half of Quasar's membership would be composed of entirely new faces this year. As I expected, I really did sign on with the bad guys, didn't I? I really can't believe Haruka Senpai was recorded doing crazy stuff like that. Oh, we're going back to you monologuing again. A plain and inexperienced and unassuming clean girl like me didn't even know some of those positions existed. Of course you watched it. Just what was Haruka Senpai thinking doing such things with a random man? And just what kind of messed up person would secretly record a girl doing things like that to sell to the tabloids? I really can't believe this business. There we go, yep. Kaorichi, you're talking to yourself again. Eh.
そう
Why such a long face? Should you not be glad that so many of your rivals were just eliminated? Stop that. Of course I wouldn't think of my fellow teammates as enemies. We're all Quasars here, you know? And I'm certainly not glad at all that I became rank 4 like this. That's so. But what a way for her trying to leave Quasar. A real-life sex tape circulating through the net.
くくく
At this rate, you really are better off dead. I guess at that rate, you really are better off dead. Oh, don't worry, she will be. The gods of the entertainment demand it. They must be appeased. That's not what an elementary schooler should be saying at all. What are you talking about? A little kid like you shouldn't even know about things like that.
大人の世界って
Oh yeah, is that so? Even though I work in adult society? Kaorichi, it is truly the naive who are taken advantage of most in this world. You best wake up soon before Mako could finish, the door opened and Shiro strode into the cafeteria. But let us listen to what our leader has to say before that. Yeah. Given the dire situation... Okay, we're back to this track. Given the dire situation, every pair of eyes in the room turned to Shiro. By now, the Grand Empress of Entertainment had grown accustomed to shouldering the worries of the other girls, and faced her sisters with nothing but icy resolution in her eyes. Ladies, despite the situation, I want to reassure you there is no reason to fear. Indeed, Kamijo-san was merely doing what must be done to rid ourselves of the traitors hiding among us. There will always be those seeking to sabotage our greatness. Quasar is a symbol so great, a responsibility so heavy, that only the best of us must be allowed to wear its name. If you're standing here right now, then it merely means that you are true to the greatest this nation has to offer. The others simply did not measure up, and that it was only inevitable. And that was only inevitable, as only the best deserve to call themselves Quasars. The Ice Empress is truly firing on all cylinders today. We've all gotta believe in Shiro-sama, don't we? She's our sinner, isn't she? If these are her feelings, then don't lesser girls like us have to just obey? Just as the girls looked down to their shoes in submission, Shiro broke into a smile. But don't worry, I'm still here for all of you, aren't I? I'm so glad we could all be together as sisters. Now come on, let's eat up, ladies. You'll need the energy since we'll all be working around the clock together to overcome this trial. Every idle story has its struggles. The best we girls can do is hold back our tears and smile despite everything. Sniffle. Shiro-sama. Come on, everyone, put those smiles back on. It's the most important thing for an idol, you know? Understood. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, in a small rundown apartment. Oh boy. The tattered remains of a woman laid face down on the floor, surrounded by bottles of hard alcohol. Shiro. Kamijo. Quasar. How could you all abandon me like this? I thought we were... I'll get all of you. I'll get all of you for this. I'm coming for you all! The end of the wild day came. Despite the fact that I was not a Golden Cat producer, I had my hands full analyzing the implications of Nikita's scandal. Man, I really didn't envy the guys working Golden Calf right now. As a fellow producer, I can only shudder at the amount of damage control work they were currently buried under. Even if they are our competitors, I could definitely understand the life of a producer was not easy. The door opened, signaling the arrival of my nightly guest. Looks like I'm gonna be buried in work tonight. Sorry, looks like today's a no-go too. Well, considering what happened, I guess I can understand. Tell me about it. I never would have foreseen that a scandal this huge would hit Quasar. Of course, they've gotten into plenty of sex scandals before, but never in its history has an actual sex tape been on the one of its front row girls leaked. In fact, this is pretty unprecedented for the entire industry. With the rapid advancement of technology, you really have no more expectation of... You really had no more expectation of private stuff in this world, huh? I suppose so. That's why as an idol, you have to conduct yourself professionally at all times. You never know when someone else might be recording your actions and intend of leaking it to the masses. Of course I wouldn't do anything stupid like that. It's really unbelievable, just messing with random guys you don't know. Honestly, that girl was just playing with fire. It was pretty much inevitable something like that like this would have happened. Well, you're right that I can't really imagine sex taping of the girls here leaking. Even the top bitch of Starnova has been tamed by now, huh? Well, you could say that everyone's dedicated themselves to becoming idols. Anyways, what's this mean for us? Are we going to be going the offensive, try to capitalize on Quasar's troubles to take away some of their market share? You really have a one-track mind, don't you? For now, our number one priority is to ensure that Starnova remains scandal-free. This might be the number one idol group, or maybe because of it, Quasar's always been no stranger to controversy. Like them or hate them, Quasar's attracted drama wherever it went. That might be the reason it's so popular. There's always one group of people who keep screaming that idols exploit gullible fans, another group who bellow equally loudly that it's idols who are getting exploited by corporations. You can't make entertainment without people when people are thinking like that, though. People watch idols to get away from their daily anxieties. So they want happy images of smiling girls having fun. Would that really be enough? You know, uplifting messages are good and all, but what people really want is blood. Nothing excites people more than seeing a beautiful girl get torn down, you know. People are just like that. They want people to say their shit existences are worth it just because someone else's existence is shittier than theirs. As Starnova's producer, I'm not really in the business of tearing you guys down. Yeah? Really? Hey, don't you give me those eyes. You really are Mr. Ethical, aren't you? I really worry about our future with an herbivore man like you in charge. The business world is a dog-eat-dog world. You either grab your prey in your maws and shake the life out of it, or you starve and die. I give our drill sergeant Lily a pat on the head to calm her back down, lest her twin tails ignite into 2 rods of fire. She hasn't locked that ability yet. What are you doing? You should chill out a bit. Yes. Touch me in the head like that. You're making fun of me, aren't you? Yeah? It wasn't good? She's not Joni-chan. Well, I guess no harm, no foul. You better be careful, though. One wrong move and a top idol like me could sue you for sexual harassment. Alright, alright. Anyways, that'll be it for tonight. I want to get any work done. Okay. I guess they could leave it at that for now. Aki touched herself where I patted her earlier and stepped back towards the door. Then I'll see you tomorrow. Yep. But you better not slack off just because I'm not here. This is serious. We're all counting on you here. I give her a thumbs up as our busybody Lolly disappears behind the door. As Aki stepped out into the cool night air, she couldn't help but smile to herself as she touched where Producer's on and patted her earlier. That had been the first time he touched her. I'm trying to remember if there's been... I mean, apart from that time you sat in his lap. Even though it had most likely just been a meaningless gesture, he couldn't help but think that maybe the two of them had gotten closer in the past months. Producer saw Padme in the head for the first time today. She looked up into the starry night. It had been a long and difficult journey. But for once, Aki felt like her life was heading in the right direction. Don't put up red flags! This is where it all goes bad again, damn it! Selected as the center of an up-and-coming idol unit. A kind producer who put the well-being of the unit above everything else. Teammates who viewed each other not as rivals but sisters. Who would have known that such a place existed in this messed up business? 3 or 4 years ago, Aki would have scoffed the idea of such an idol unit. This is a cutthroat business. Everyone's out to backstab and take advantage of you, she would have said. And yet, here she was, at the center of this very reality she had thought to be impossible. She let out a long breath of air. Does this mean I finally made it? Of course not. There's still so much more I have to accomplish. I'm still not anywhere near the #1 idol in the nation. Mustering her resolve, he gripped her hands into 2 balls and grinned confidently into the night sky. I'm going to accomplish it all. Aki arrived back at her apartment. I'm back. She was surprised with the living room lights on and her mother waiting for her. Welcome back, Aki. Mama? Her mom greeted her with uncharacteristic warmth. A suspicious amount of warmth. Something wasn't right. Before Aki could react, a second figure appeared from behind her mom. Good evening, Aki-chan. Every muscle in her body tensed at his appearance.
Aki?
How kind of Oda-san to pay us a visit again. Come on, Aki, greet your producer. All of Aki's being wanted to shout that Oda was no longer her producer, but the words got trapped in her throat. She looked down at her shoes, utterly neutralized by his very presence. Yet he only greeted her and she was already helpless.
Aki!
Now, Aki-chan is no doubt pretty exhausted after a long day. And isn't that right, Aki-chan? Yeah. My, you blossomed to a fine young woman. Okay. She really was quite the little doll back when she was a little girl, wasn't she?
そうです。
Yes, but Aki still got her old looks. Isn't that just so fortunate? I'm hard to believe she's all grown up now. Yeah, God, okay. You're giving me extreme creeper vibes, man. Oda gripped Aki's shoulder and gave it a massage with his firm hands. But how rude of me to be intruding upon your home at such an hour. It seems I've completely lost track of time in our conversation. Time truly does fly when you're having fun, doesn't it? Yes, it really does. But Oda-san, you can always come by whenever you want. You've already done so much for Aki. You'll always be welcome here. Well then, I ought to be leaving. Why don't you think of what I've said tonight with Aki-chan? Of course. Then, see you, Aki-chan. Yes. Have a good evening, Oda-san. With that, Oda left the apartment. As soon as he entered the elevator and went downstairs, Aki turned to face her mother with fury on her face. Why did you let that man in here?
Aki!
Aki, can't you say he's an important contact for your career? Of course you need to hear what the man has to say. Aki's hands trembled. In her eyes, her mother had sold her out. To let that man return to her life was tantamount to betrayal. He tricked me, and then he dumped me. Why should I ever trust anything he says ever again? He was only doing what was necessary. Besides, the situation's changed now. They know you're valuable, and that Quasar isn't immortal. Aki, why don't you go back to being a Golden Calf talent? They had the resources, the connections, and the power to make you into something really great. I'm never going back there. Why must you always be like this? Why must you have your own thoughts and feelings and independence and not want to be completely taken advantage of? After all this time, are you seriously still just going to keep acting like a child? This is how you lost everything the last time too, wasn't it? How's a no-name talent agency going to make you into a real star? Or do you want to spend your prime languishing in some small company when people from the biggest talent agency in the country are scouting you? I signed a deal, you know. I can't just... No, Aki. Deals are meant to be broken. Don't worry. Oda-san's people can take care of everything. Aki spun around and ran to the apartment.
Aki!
Shut up, shit mother. Where are you going? Away! Aki finally stopped running and came to rest against the railing of a pedestrian bridge. Just when she had thought things were all going to be alright, he had to reappear in her life. Aki stared into the black, inky river below her. She had fought to become the #1 idol for so long. She had risked everything. Her very existence had become committed to becoming an idol. No mistakes could be made, or else she would be humiliated on the national stage. Despite having worked harder than anyone, the masses would deride her if she made a mistake. The name Kashiwagi Aki would become synonymous with failure. She could never accept that. She had bled, she had suffered. There was no way she could end up a failure now. Not when she already lost so much. Her heart rumbled with fear. The fear of failing after having walked this thorny path of being a pro idol. Moreover, the fear that her mother was right. Deep down, Aki knew her mother was speaking the truth. It wasn't enough to just work hard, follow the rules, and be a true friend if you wanted to be top dog. Nobody accomplished anything like that. To become truly great, you had to lie, backstab, exploit. In the animal kingdom, the beast at the top of the food chain killed, maimed, and ate all the other creatures of the jungle. And man was still fundamentally nothing more than a thinking, calculating animal, the most dangerous one to roam this planet. But the other girls of Starnova were her friends, and Aki cared for her producer. How could she betray them by abandoning her post as the center of the unit to join Golden Calf? There was no way she could go back there. I'm the center of Starnova. She had to swallow her doubts. Yes, she knew the road was going to be difficult. Making Starnova into a national icon was going to take everything she had within her. She had already accepted that going into this that she was going to have to endure all the pain in the world if she was going to have even the slimmest shot at accomplishing her dream. And she wasn't going to back out now. I'm not going to give up. There we go. Aki swallowed her fear and tried to... Wait a minute, what the... Huh. I thought I saw something change in the background. Aki swallowed her fears and tried to smile with confidence. An idol had to always be smiling, no matter the circumstances. Mustering her courage, she walked back home for the night. Well, that was pleasantly horrifying. Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna end this here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode.